Hey everyone, a lot of you have been asking me to do this update for a while now, just asking me any update about nursing, my job search, my career, the NCLEX, and just everything to do with nursing after graduating college. And truth be told, I haven't done one because I didn't really have an update for you guys. I hadn't found a job. I just now am getting a job recently, and it's almost a year after graduating. So I just wanted to let you know I did not forget about y'all, but I had no news. I had nothing to tell you all, but now that I do, I am going to just tell y'all a little bit about my hard and rocky experience. It has not been easy after graduating, just let me tell you that. Like I said, it's almost a year after graduating and I'm just now getting a job. So this video is going to be about the NCLEX, my job search, and then ultimately getting my dream job, getting the job that I've always wanted, the reason I went into nursing. So first things first, we're going to talk about the NCLEX. Now I do want to go ahead and tell y'all, I'm not going to tell you anything about the questions that I got. Even if I did remember the questions, it is illegal to talk about that or to disclose that type of information to the public, and I could get in a lot of trouble for doing that. But honestly, I couldn't even remember a question if you asked me. I do remember the question I got right before my exam shut off, and that's pretty much it. But other than that, I couldn't even remember a question to tell you anyway. But like I said, that's illegal. You can get in a lot of trouble for disclosing information about the NCLEX, and that's not what I'm here for. I'm just here to tell you about my experience with the NCLEX and studying for the NCLEX. I graduated December 2014, and I took the NCLEX, I want to say, a few months after that. And I am not a good test taker. It's not that I'm not a good test taker, but I have really, really bad test anxiety. And I was very, very anxious about my NCLEX exam. I went into that exam, and the entire time I could feel my heart beating through my chest with every question, especially after I got past question 75, because many of you know the way the NCLEX works is that basically you can get as little as 75 questions or up to 275 questions. And if you get 75 questions, that either means that you're doing so good that they feel like they don't need to ask you anymore, or you're doing so bad that they feel like they don't need to ask you anymore. And then at any point between 75 and 275, or maybe 265, the exam can cut off at any question between that time. And so that's general knowledge about the NCLEX. And so once I got past 75, my anxiety was through the roof. I mean, it was just crazy. But long story short, I did not pass the NCLEX the first time, and I was heartbroken. I was devastated. A lot of my classmates, had already passed because they had taken theirs either before me, or we were taking them around the same time, and I was devastated. I studied night and day for that thing, and I was making good scores, when I was studying and taking the practice exams, and I felt very prepared. And it's just that, when I sat in front of that real exam, it's a completely different feeling than when you're taking practice questions or a practice exam, and I was horrified. It made me question myself. It made me question a lot of things. And then I had to realize that everybody is not the same. Everybody is not a good test taker. There are many different factors that can contribute to failing a test besides not studying, but that wasn't the case for me. Basically, what happened to me is that I got all 275 or 265 questions, and basically that meant that I was straddling the line between between passing and not passing. You know, if they keep asking you questions, that means that, you know, you're almost there. You just haven't gotten too far. You haven't gotten far enough above the passing line. And so that was also something that was devastating to me, because basically the last question determines whether you're going to pass or not. If it's above passing line, you pass. If it's below a below passing line question, you don't pass. And I'm just glad that that's over. But basically what I had to realize about myself is that my anxiety was getting the best of me, you know, during the exam. And I told myself that I wasn't going to go through that again. And I went and I talked to a nurse practitioner that I see, and she gave me propranolol. And if you don't know what that is, it is a beta blocker drug, and it just helps decrease your heart rate and helps decrease your blood pressure as well. And so she gave me a few of those. She told me to try it, you know, take one, you know, a few days before my exam, see how it makes me feel, and then take one the day of. And I took one the day of, and you know, I felt a lot more calm during the exam. My exam did not cut off at question 75, but I didn't get 265 questions either. And somewhere in between that number, my exam just shut off. And it was the best feeling in the world, because I knew that I'd passed. And I can't tell you how great of an experience it was, especially after failing already. And so I just wanted to share that experience with you all. If you do not pass the NCLEX the first time, it is okay, and just examine the reason why you think you didn't pass, or the factors. And you know, for me, I knew studying wasn't the problem. You know, I wasn't even going out because I was studying so much. I was just in every day, from day to night, studying. Just try to figure out what it is that you think is keeping you from passing, and then try to perfect that. Like I said, some people's nerves get the best of them, and that is what happened to me. And so once I got control of that, I was able to pass. So like I said, I wanted to share that experience because I want other people out there to know that you're not the only one, and it doesn't make you any less of a nurse than the next one. And I do honestly believe that you are still capable and you are still smart, even if you failed the first time, okay? And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So with that out of the way, I finally passed. I got licensed. You know, they sent me my license in the mail, and I just started applying to, you know, all these jobs and nurse residency programs in the area. And I had applied to a ton of positions, basically all within the area that I wanted to work in. So that was either pediatrics, NICU, nursery, postpartum, labor and delivery, all of those areas. And I got denied from like every single one. And you know, it got to the point where I was like, well, I probably cannot get into this area as a new grad, and I'm just gonna have to get different experience before I try to transition. And I got into a nurse residency program in a med-surg unit, and I was actually getting ready to start that job when I got a call from another hospital to interview me for their maternity services, which would include NICU, nursery, postpartum, labor and delivery. And I was ecstatic, because I was literally going to be starting this new job within the next week and a half, and this was the first time that I got called for an interview for this position. So I went, I did the interview, and the interview was on a Friday, and that next Monday they called me and let me know that I had gotten the job. And it made me feel like all the trials and tribulations that I went through with the NCLEX and getting denied from all these positions, that it was all a part of a bigger plan, and that God always had this planned out for me. And that maybe if I had not failed the first time, then I would have sooner been, locked into another position at a different facility. And everything was just right on time. And I'm just very grateful, because a lot of people do not get, these type of positions, with no experience as an RN. And so that is what I'm doing now, and I absolutely love it. I'm currently on days, but I will be transitioning to nights once I get finished with my orientation period. And it's just been a journey, and I'm really, really just thankful. Just thankful because, God has always known the desires of my heart, and He knew that this is the reason that I went into nursing, and all I had to do was trust Him, and He definitely gave me what I prayed and asked for. So definitely a blessing. But that's the only new info I have about my nursing career. Mainly I wanted to make this video to share with you all my experience with the NCLEX, because it wasn't your typical pass the first time. No, go ahead and comment to the video, David.
My bad. Nah, you go ahead.
It wasn't a typical pass the first time, pass the NCLEX the first time experience, and I want to let you know that that's okay, and you're still completely capable. You will pass, because you passed nursing school, and you will be a registered nurse. And do not get discouraged. Everybody goes through something in life, and you never know why you're going through that something, and God could have a very much bigger plan for you. So that's pretty much it. If I left out anything, just let me know, or if you have any specific, sorry, I don't know what's going on with me. If you have any specific questions, just leave them below, and hopefully I can answer them. But thanks so much for watching, and until next time.